One of my subscribers, which is actually involved with government work that deals with censorship, had a conversation with me recently, and I asked, so how are things? Like, are you going to be out of a job? Because I noticed that censorship is a lot more lax than it used to be. And he said, oh, like, we're not doing censorship anymore. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, after the pandemic, censorship is not that effective anymore because the public just doesn't believe in it. There's a big percentage of the public that if you censor something, they will automatically believe the opposite to be true by virtue that we censored it. So after the pandemic, a lot of the people have lost trust in the authoritative sources. They lost trust in the government censoring for their own good. So if the government censors something, then they automatically assume the opposite is true. And I was curious about this, and it's like, okay, and yet you still have a job. Like, what do you do? And it's like, well, the new model of censorship is to create ideas that seem grassroots. And so we don't censor information anymore. What we do is we approach already established content creators, usually through NGOs and third parties, so that it doesn't seem like it's coming from the government. And we ask them to push a message. And then that message is treated as if it's coming from the public, as if it's treated as if it's coming from the private sector. And it's very interesting because when you understand this, you will notice that, okay, the new model of censorship is to have quote-unquote influencers on various platforms that are actually funded either by governments or NGOs. And the algorithm pushes them, and the government and the NGOs also have bots to amplify the message. And everyone else that's not affiliated gets suppressed by the algorithm. Like usually the people that play ball, they're not touched. They can get away with community guideline strikes and violations. And so I was like, okay, well that's interesting. But like if you have, content creators, like they're not going to be able to censor opinions. And it's like, well, we don't need to censor opinions. Like what we need to do is to get people to doubt. Like if you get enough people to doubt, if you sue enough dissent, that's good enough. Like, they're not aiming for perfection. They're not aiming for, like, controlling the narrative 100%. But, like, if you look at the United States right now, you will notice that the Democrats aren't really attacking Trump that much with the deportations. Like, they are, but it's not like in 2016. Like, in 2016, if you went online and you said you want firm borders and you want strict border rules, you would be called a racist. You would be labeled with hate speech. They would try to get you fired. They're not doing that anymore. Like, notice how Trump is pretty much allowed to do his thing, and there's not that much outrage in the press. Like, sure, there are a couple of articles here and there, and there are a couple of journalists that are upset, but it's nowhere near like 2016. And so the question is, like, what is going on? Like what are the Democrats doing? Because, like, surely they're trying to win. Like, surely they're trying to push their message and do their propaganda, but where is it? And the answer, it's here. This is how they do it, right? So it's all about causing doubt. Now, if you look at reality, right? You look at how the world operates. You have a president like Joe Biden, and he just stops enforcing the border, turns a blind eye, and all of a sudden you have millions of people that are coming into the country illegally, like Donald Trump likes to say. No one checks for their ID. No one wonders if they have a criminal record. No one looks into them if they're integrating or not into the society. They just keep pouring in. And now you have Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has run on a platform that he is going to deport people that came into the country illegally. And he's starting with criminals. He's starting with people that have a criminal record, right? Like, besides the fact that they came in illegally, they committed crimes. They're associated with various gangs. And he starts with those. But what happens is that for every single deportation, every single person out of those millions, he is getting pushback from the legal system. Like the NGOs, the lawyers, like all of that, like the process has to go through naturally. Like the paperwork needs to be signed, bureaucracy works. And so what they're doing is like for every single person, they have NGOs, they have lawyers, they have judges that keep delaying, keep stalling. And then the media pushes this type of article, right? Like Trump deported fewer people last month than Biden a year ago. In other words, they're not saying now that he is racist. They're not saying that, you shouldn't deport illegals. What he is saying is that he is inefficient. He is incompetent. He is trying, like they are trying to sow doubt. And by doing so, right, like the alternative is get the other guys that will just let millions in, right? Like Trump is inefficient, stop voting for him. And the question is like, okay, if you don't vote for him, who then? Well, the other guys. But the other guys are the ones that will let millions in, right? But they don't mention that. Like, they don't bring things into perspective. Like, this is not an article that's trying to explain how the world works. It's not trying to explain, like, how did it get to this point. It's just, like, trying to portray Trump as inefficient in the hopes that when the elections come, a lot of people that are Republican supporters will just stay home and they will not vote for the new Republican. This is, like, how they're making the new propaganda. They won't mention the fact that under Joe Biden, where you let millions of people coming in, you're basically signaling to other people, hey, it's possible to get in. Hey, if you get in the United States, like you can have a kid, and then that kid becomes an anchor baby, and you get America, you get to stay in America, right? He gets American citizenship, you get to stay. And so more people come in. With Donald Trump, well, people are now afraid. They're like, okay, I can come in. Like, sure, he is struggling now, deporting people, but like, what if I get deported? What if I go to the United States, I stay there for like 10 or 20 years, and then I get deported? What if the whole anchor baby thing, what if it actually passes the legislation and that's not on the table anymore? Right? So like less people are now coming in simply because the culture has changed, simply because of his opinion. And like when you ever see, a right-winger or a person that goes like, well, because we haven't gotten 100%, then everything we did is for nothing. I understand that the left doesn't think this way, right? I said it on my live stream, but like imagine if you're trying to conquer the United States, right? And you manage to get Texas in the first month and you're celebrating and it's like, okay, today is Texas. We're going to advance tomorrow. We're going to eventually take Washington, right? Like that's the normal way of thinking. The abnormal way of thinking is you get Texas and then people start complaining. It's like, well, what do you mean? You didn't get Washington yet? Like, you don't have Washington? Like, oh, what is this? Like, why are you celebrating? Why are you celebrating defeat? Like, you're losing. How are you winning this war, right? Like, this is the anti-propaganda that they are pushing. This is the mindset that they're trying to put. And it's very ingenious in a way because you can get right-wing voices to push this message, right? It sounds like a right-wing message. It sounds like a person that's just, like, dissatisfied of the way things are. When in reality, it's pretty much particularly designed to sow doubt and discontent. So, like, be very careful when you're listening to this. You may recognize some of the content creators that do it. Like, it's okay to keep your side under accountability, and it's okay to measure the success of your side. But at the same time, you have to put it into context. Like, you have to realize, okay, well, when Joe Biden was deporting someone, he wasn't getting pushed back from NGOs and activists, and probably like he was deporting people from Cuba, people that would have voted right wing or whatever, But when you have Donald Trump, like no matter who he deports, he's getting pushed back. Like it's normal that it's going to be more difficult for him. And it's also understandable that he has the power that the president does. Like he's operating within the framework. He's not like the United States doesn't give the president complete complete powers over the nation, right? And so he has sure he can sign a document that no one follows. He has to play by the rules set by the Republican Party, by the Supreme Court, by the bureaucratic system. And it is what it is. I think he's doing a better job than he did in 2016. But you got to look through the lens of context. You can't just look at the numbers and be like, oh, well, Joe Biden deported more people. Yeah, but how many people came in during the Joe Biden era? And all of a sudden, it's a different story. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.